From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Wednesday, November 1st, 2023.
For the Detroit Free Press Autos team, I'm Jamie LaRoe. General Motors and the United Auto Workers have reached a tentative agreement on a new contract Monday, and strikers will return to their jobs at GM during the ratification process. GM's deal follows one the union reached with Ford last week and with Stellantis on Saturday. GM and the UAW reached the agreement in the early morning hours Monday after solving questions about the automaker's joint venture battery plants. This deal, like the one Stellantis has with the UAW, largely mirrors the same financial agreements the union won with Ford. Those include a 25% wage increase over a 4.5-year contract, a reinstatement of the cost of living adjustment to combat inflation, profit sharing, and an end to tiered wages, to list a few. Notably, GM's joint venture battery plant employees will have the chance to be part of the UAW's master agreement with GM, securing higher wages and benefits for those workers. The UAW National GM Council is expected to vote on it later this week, and if approved, the details of the deal will go before the membership for review and eventually to a vote.
This is Nusrat Rahman with the Detroit Free Press. A new report commissioned by the City of Detroit offers a comprehensive look at homelessness in Detroit. The report is believed to be the first of its kind in recent city history and kickstarts a broader plan to address homelessness in Detroit after the COVID-19 pandemic. Here are some of the interim findings that were laid out. Most Detroit households experiencing homelessness are dealing with it for the first time. How long people stayed in shelters or other housing programs doubled from 35 to 69 days during the last 8 years. And inside the shelters, people have reported overcrowding and violence. Some had to wait several hours or multiple days to access a shelter. Leaders of local shelters said they are aware of the challenges in the system and emphasized the need for more funding to improve facilities and expand as shelters consistently operate at or beyond capacity. To learn more about the report and the work ahead, go to freep.com.
I'm Andrew Burkle with the Free Press Sports Department. The NFL trade deadline has come and gone. And while the Detroit Lions didn't make a huge splash like the fans wanted them to, they did fill a need at one of the most important positions. And oh yeah, brought a hometown kid back to the D. Donovan Peoples-Jones, who you may remember from his time with the Michigan Wolverines and Detroit Caz Tech before that, has spent the last 4 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. On Tuesday, with just about an hour left in the deadline, the Lions announced they had acquired the veteran receiver in exchange for a 2025 6th-round pick. DPJ hasn't necessarily become the superstar that he was projected to be when he was first coming out, but he has shown that he can be a productive player with great size and speed. He got better in each of his first 3 seasons in the league, posting career best in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns last year, but has struggled to pick up where he left off while dealing with a rocky quarterback situation. The Lions are betting that offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and the rest of the team brass will be able to put DPJ into a better position to succeed and to properly use his tools. However, one thing that the Lions did not do was make any moves along the defensive line, arguably the most inconsistent unit on their team this year. At times, their front 7 has looked utterly dominant, including Monday against the Las Vegas Raiders when they had 6 sacks. But if the Lions want to make a Super Bowl run, as crazy as that may sound, they'll need more consistent play out of the guys lining up next to Aiden Hutchinson, who's been great in his second year in Detroit. By standing pat at the deadline outside of the DPJ trade, General Manager Brad Holmes is betting he already has enough with the guys in the locker room. Now, we'll just have to wait and see if it pays off.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.